All right, gang, let's dive right into it. We have a lot to cover today. So again, welcome to Webinar Wednesday, tips to help grow your online community. If this is your first time joining us today, welcome. I am Jason there on the left, and we are lucky to be joined by David Rockland, the digital strategist here, and so much more here at Brilliant Directories. And David, we're doing something special today. We're not only having the webinar here, but we're simultaneously streaming on YouTube Live, correct?
That's right. We're trying out something new this week. It's a little different how we can interact with you guys, whether here through GoToWebinar or on YouTube. But we are doing both this week, so we'll see how this week goes, and hopefully this will be something that we can continue it. I know it's a lot easier for a lot of people to view it on YouTube, so we'll see how this one goes as a little trial run here.
Awesome. Thanks for helping to set that up, David. And I always like to mention, if you're not already a member of our Facebook group, it's a great way to keep the conversations going. You can head on over to brilliantdirectories.com/Facebook. Just click on the blue join button. All are welcome, and we'll be happy to accept you. What's really great there is I'm there myself. The community members are fantastic in there. We put the most recent updates there first when they're coming down the line, when they're available. So it's a great place to not only get some help, but also see what's coming down the line within the Brilliant Directories platform. And for those of you joining for the first time, first of all, welcome. It's great to be with you guys here. The reason we started Webinar Wednesdays about 2.5 years ago was to kind of help provide support for the platform. Now what we're using it for, and it's a great way to ask questions, is to kind of show you some of the new features that are available in the platform, specifically how to leverage them to grow your community. So we like to cover topics, for example, on some of the features that can help you convert visitors into members, some of the revenue opportunities, some of the add-ons or features that can help you increase your revenue. And my favorite is how to mainly simplify and improve your website's navigation to really improve those conversion rates, because really the ultimate goal here is we want visitors to convert to subscribers and eventually to paying members. So with a good improved navigation, that kind of helps you during that process. We'll have time for a Q&A just a little bit further down the line in the webinar. So if you have questions about your site or any of these related topics, we'll try to get to as many as we can in just a moment. And we've kind of been mentioning these the last two webinars. They have now officially arrived. Two new add-ons. These are really big ones, especially the community comments one. Are now available. If you're a VIP Add-Ons Club member, the add-ons are already available for you in the admin area. We've reviewed them in previous webinars, but I just want to quickly show you where you can enable these on your site and just quickly show you how they work. So let's start with the reviews with photos. So I have a sample site here. There's two caveats with the reviews for photos. As you know, visitors can come to your site and leave testimonials or reviews about their experience with your members if you've enabled that. If you want users to also include photos with their reviews, and this is really great for visually oriented businesses such as restaurants, home services like designers or architects and whatnot, and many others. So the first thing you would need to do is come to your membership plans and select which membership levels can have images left with when there's a review being written about them. So you can come to membership plans, edit a specific membership level that would have the privilege of having visitors also upload images with their reviews. You can head on over to the profile page tab here, and if you scroll down, here it is. Under the member review settings, allow image uploads with reviews, and you want to set this to yes. The second caveat, and it's mainly for the security and to minimize spam and any nefarious activity, is only subscribers or members of your site who are already logged into your site will have the option to upload images with their review. So if someone comes to the site and is not logged into the site, they're just a regular visitor, they have no subscription on your site at all, not even a general user subscription, they'll just be able to write their plain text review. If they are logged in some capacity, a general user, any type of membership plan, if this is enabled for the member they're leaving the review, they'll also be prompted to add images with the review. So let me just quickly show you how this works. So we've enabled it for the premium plan. Let me log in as a sample member here. And we'll leave a review for Elite Golf Academy. So test review. I will submit it. There we go. So add photos to review, and you'll be prompted, and the user can click yes to add. And I have my Muppets here. I'll just add them up and click to complete. And the system's uploading the images with the reviews, and the process is done. So if we go back to this person's profile page, Elite Golf Academy, we can see the reviews, and we can see the photos that are listed with the reviews. It looks really beautiful, and you can actually click on the images and it will pop them up here. What's really cool in a phase 2 is right now just the images are going to show with the review that they're connected to, but later we're going to figure out a way so all the reviews that have images, you'll be able to see all the photos of a gallery of the images for all the reviews. So that is released now. And the second one, which I'm even more excited about, are the community comments. So this will allow your members to leave comments underneath posts. Like if you have a blog article, there really is no need for a third-party commenting tool like Discuss or Facebook comments. It's all built in now. And let me show you where you can enable the community comments. Let's just start at the dashboard here. And this will be under content, and you'll see, if you have the add-on, a new section called post comments here. And currently there are no comments on this site. We need to enable comments. So your new best friend is going to be this area here called comment settings. And the first thing you want to do is, do you want to enable post comments on the site in general? And I'm going to switch this to yes. And you can choose what you want the title text to be above the comments section. So you could say like, what do you think? Leave a comment, and that'll be the title. You can show the comment count on the post page. So if you want to show how many total comments have been left, I'll just do above post and in the comments section. You can choose to moderate comments. So by default, it's set to no. You can certainly change this to yes. And then you can select the membership plans whose comments would require comment moderation. So maybe general users, they can submit comments, but you, the admin, would need to manually approve them and moderate those comments, whereas you can leave the premium plan unchecked and their comments will always be published in real time. I'll just set this to no for moderate. And then you can also enable or disable this for your different post types. So maybe there's a post types like jobs that you really don't want people to leave comments for, but maybe for your blog articles, you do want people to leave comments underneath there. So I'll just leave it active for now, but you can see here all the different post types, property listings, products, etc. And then the last thing, which is really cool, is just to kind of minimize spam or just to make sure no one cannibalizes the comments section. You could set the maximum character limit for an individual comment. You know, I guess some people might write long comments. That's perfectly fine. You can leave this empty, or you could do like 1,000 characters. Anything like that would be fine. So I'll just go ahead and save these changes. And once this is enabled, let's actually go to a post that's published on the site. We'll go to Manage Posts. All right, View Live Page. Okay, great. So we can see here's that title that I wrote. What do you think? Leave a comment. Right now there's 0 comments. I'm logged in as this member, and I can say this looks like a great deal, and I can submit it. And now there is a comment here. And what's really cool is you can reply to people can reply to comments. You could reply to your one more question. Is this still active? And you can go ahead and send that, and obviously other people can leave comments as well. So this is all built in. It's all working great, the comments section. And if we head on over back to the admin area, I'll just go ahead and refresh this post comments page. And we can see my comments here. One more question, and this was in response to, this is the one where I left a reply to an existing comment, and you can manage it all here. This should look pretty familiar to you, the post comments page. It looks very similar to the member reviews page. So hopefully it'll be pretty intuitive. Oh, and bonus here, so when images are added to the member reviews, you'll see them here as well. All right. And let's move on. We do have some BD Lab updates to share. The most important, I think, as it directly correlates to like the reviews with photos, community comments, anywhere that it's required for a member to register or log in, this will definitely help things out. So this update is the Express member registration, and I recommend everybody should enable this on your site. And what it does is on the login page, up until now, you could have buttons that say, are you a member or not? Click here to register, and it would take them away to the checkout page, which is fine. You can push upgraded levels there and membership plans and things like that. But with the Express member registration, you can assign one of your free membership plans that will be used in the Express member registration, and users can sign up right from the login page. So let me show you exactly what I'm referring to here. So if you go to your general settings, on the first tab right here, you'll have Express Sign Up Membership Plan. So you just need to, it's only free membership plans. So the list here will just show you a list of your available membership plans that are free to sign up to. In this case, we'll set the general user, and I'll go ahead and save the changes. So what we see now is here is the login page, and before it was just a title that said member login, but now we have a tab here, and you can toggle between the tabs, and you can actually register a new account right here. So I'll just go ahead and do that, jason5@jason.com, and as I'm doing this, it's going to sign me up to that general user account. So if you're using this, maybe you don't want people to verify their email address, or you can choose the welcome email they get or the page they're directed to after they sign up here. But what's really cool is up until now, you'd have to go to one of those checkout pages to register as a free member. So you can see here now I have registered, and I just created an account right there from the login page. Now let me show you where this becomes increasingly valuable. Let's go back to that coupons page. Okay, so here's coupons, and let's view the live page. So I'm not logged in right now. I've logged out of the account. So if I scroll down, you can see here it says, what do you think? Leave a comment. And it asks me to log in order to leave a comment. So you need to create an account. So you get the pop-up, and what's really cool is right here on this page, you can certainly log in, or you can go ahead and register your account right on the page that you're sitting on. So there's a lot of areas now in the Brilliant Directories platform where someone is prompted to log in. Like if they want to bookmark one of their favorite posts or save a post, they have to be logged in, so they're prompted with this pop-up. So this should definitely help you guys increase user and member registrations for your free subscribers. So definitely recommend starting to use this. And of course, we'll get your feedback down the line on ways we can make this even better for everyone. All right, that was a mouthful. I'll go through these next ones pretty quick. Now you have the ability to select smart lists for newsletters. So a few months ago, we released the ability to save a group of members into what we call a smart list from your search members page in the admin. What you'll notice now on the right-hand side is you have a set of member list actions. So the simple one is you can import members. If you have the add-on to export list, you certainly have that here. And then everyone has the create smart list from current results. So how does that work? Well, what you can do is you can search for any type of member. Let's look for California members who are claimable listings. Maybe we have some, I'm not sure. Okay, so we have 17 members who are located in California and claimable listings. So what we can do is we can create a smart list. We'll call it California claimable members. And I'll go ahead and save that. And we'll close this. So where you can find all your smart lists is under the emails tab. So if I go to smart lists here, we can see the last one here, California claimable members. And this is a dynamic list. Right now it's 17. If any new member joins and they happen to be in California and they meet the required or defined criteria, they'll automatically be added to this list. So up until now, you could just create the smart list and see them here, and that was our phase one. Now what you can do is you can actually schedule a newsletter campaign. You can go to Send Newsletter, and we'll go ahead and create a new newsletter. And right here, there's different list options, so contact tags, member account statuses, and now if you scroll down, you see smart lists to include. So if I just wanted to email my California members that are claimable members, I could just check this box and send a hyper-focused email newsletter to those members. So that's now available for everyone. Some things coming down the line with this is you'll be able to choose the lists to include, and then you'll also be able to choose lists you want to also exclude. So if someone is on both lists, an include and exclude list, they won't be set the email blast. So you can get even more granular and targeted when you're sending newsletters. I see some big things with our newsletters coming down the line in the next 3 or 4 months. This is definitely an area of the admin that requires or could use a little more TLC, and we're excited that we'll be able to do that with more reporting and statistics and tools to segment lists and get more information about your email newsletter. So this is now available for everyone to choose smart lists for email campaigns. This next one is related to the multi-member manager add-on. It's when you can have a parent account that can create additional sub-accounts underneath it. Up until now, that parent account would display in the search results. However, sometimes the parent account is just a manager account and the sub-accounts are the ones that you want to see in the search results. So now if you go to membership plans, those of you that have the multi-member manager add-on, if you go to edit a membership plan and under post-publishing, you can activate sub-accounts right here. And there is an option to hide the parent account. So maybe the parent account, again, is just a managing account. You don't really want that parent account to display in your directory's search results, only the sub-accounts. This will take care of that. And this was actually a recommendation in previous Webinar Wednesdays. So thank you guys for that suggestion, and that is live. And let me actually just share a link to the multi-member manager add-on in case you guys want to take a look at what this does. It allows a single member to create additional sub-accounts underneath them. I'll post this in the chat right here. All right. This one is more of a design update. I just want to bring everyone's attention to it. The homepage streaming sections in your design settings area. Now the settings for all your streaming sections are in pop-ups. So I just want to alert everyone to this small update in the admin area, and I'll show you what I'm referring to here. So in your design settings under homepage layout, well, this site doesn't have it. It's a demo site that we're working on, but basically even the homepage divider settings and even the about website and join offer settings under your homepage section order, when you choose something to stream on your homepage, like streaming top categories or streaming events, all the individual settings for those are in these blue button pop-ups here now. So if I click on this, you have all the specific settings related to the streaming sections here in the pop-up. So I know a few people emailed in, where did the homepage divider settings go? You'll see them right here. This site doesn't have it as a demo site, but for example, in this section 1, the blue button will be there for you guys to make those edits, and this module would be gone from here now. All right, last one, also related to streaming widgets. We actually mentioned this in previous webinars, but I thought it was worth noting again because it creates such a strong design aesthetic for your homepage. You can now adjust the font styling for the title of the streaming sections. Okay, so if we go to design settings, and this is something else I would highly recommend everyone go to their sites and edit if you're using streaming sections on your homepage. So here we can see that there's just 2 modules now. So under homepage search settings, if you scroll down, and all these settings are going to be reorganized a bit better coming soon. But the last options here, the title alignment, title font size, title font weight, you have settings for these now, and let me show you what I'm referring to. If we visit this website, for example, this is in reference to the title sections above the streaming options. Up until now, there were no settings for this. They would always be aligned left, and they would always be 30 pixels in their font size. So, it was fine, it worked fine, but now, I believe, just depending on the aesthetic of your site, you can increase the font size, bring more attention. You can make it bold or skinny font. I seem to like it centered, but just depending on what you're looking to do, you can definitely make these sections look a lot better by updating the title settings. So again, that is in the design settings, homepage layout, and if you scroll down, it's the last 5 options here for title alignment, title font weight, and title font size. So definitely recommend checking those out. All right, some items coming soon. We're almost through this list. Thanks for bearing with me, guys. The ability, as I mentioned, to exclude lists when sending newsletters. That'll help you get more granular. This is a huge one. We actually took a survey in the Facebook group. You have your main menu, but maybe you want to show a different main menu when members are logged in to the site. So you'll be able to clone your main menu and then create an alternate main menu for people once they're logged into the site. So that should create a nice portal experience. You can have a public-facing main menu and then a main menu when members are logged into the site. I think that's going to be super high value for everyone. And also, we're going to do that for the mini nav at the top of the page also. So you can have one or the other. We've mentioned this, it's going through its final QA, the ability to force end any staff admins that may be logged into your backend dashboard. Maybe something happened, something was compromised. You'll be able to force end all sessions on any device around the world with a single button, and then you can go ahead and reset the password for additional security. The ability to have email settings for any form that's submitted. So as you guys know, when a visitor fills out your newsletter form or your contact us form, you can actually select an email that goes to the visitor after they've submitted that form, or to the admin after they've submitted the contact us or newsletter form. Up until now, those are the only 2 forms that would support email settings such as those, or if you created your own custom form. However, a lot of people said they want to get notified when someone posts a coupon, right? Because when you create a coupon or an article or fills out their member listing, those are all forms users are filling out. So if you really wanted to go on overdrive and get email responses every time one of those form actions were completed or submitted, you can go in very soon and set up those email settings so you or your staff can get notified when any form is filled out on your site. Next one, also related to the multi-member manager, we're creating the ability for the parent account to toggle back from the sub-account. So as a parent account, you can log in and manage the sub-accounts. We do know that there is a roadblock that you can't get back to the parent account. So we're just creating a secure way where your parent account can toggle freely between their sub-accounts and back to the master parent account. And actually that last one there is already pushed, the same page express member sign up. That was the top of the list there. So actually we're all caught up on BD Lab updates. I'll take a few questions. I know that was a mouthful right now. I also wanted to, again, this was the last webinar. We're in webinar 101, but we got so much love. I just wanted to say thank you again to the entire community. We surpassed 100 webinars over the last 2.5 years, and really we just keep them going. One, I love them, and I know David loves them, and we get such great feedback from you guys, like these suggestions. So I just want to thank you guys for being a part of the community and participating with us, and we look forward to the next 100 webinars to come. And actually, this is a perfect segue because we do have a special guest with us today. And I'll just go to the next slide here. We have Patrick Brunelle from Project Pat. He was actually part of the Brilliant Directories team not too long ago, just a few short years ago. He's a dear friend, and he's done amazing things for the BD community and BD users. And he continues that journey with with Project Pat. And actually, Patrick was with us for webinar number 1 back in 2017. and we're lucky to be joined by him today. He's got a special presentation about defining your offering and how to attract more members. So, Patrick, I just unmuted your mic there. I want to thank you for joining us as a guest here today.
Hey, Jason, it's a pleasure to be here. Pretty amazing to sit in on one of these and see all those amazing updates that you guys are working on, especially that quick member sign up. That's pretty phenomenal update that you're releasing. I'm excited for that.
Awesome. Well, I know we connected last week, and you've been doing some really amazing things at Project Pat. And I know I was kind of yanking on your ear if we can get you in on one of these webinars. I know you're really busy and stuff. And after we chatted, everyone, Pat thought with a short amount of time on this webinar, one of the most important things we could share with the community is kind of how to define your offering and your brand story almost, and some actionable steps that everyone could take today to adjust things on their website and the trajectory that they're going with their project. So, Pat, if it's okay with you, I'd like to pass it over to you, and you could take it from there.
Absolutely. Thanks, Jason. Appreciate that. Yeah, a lot of the things that we do at Project Pat are in fact working with startups. A lot of times we get going at the very beginning of a journey, right? And somebody has an original idea, they come to us and they share it. And over the years, we're really, really fortunate to work with some pretty amazing people and some amazing projects. And every time you work on a new project, you learn new things, and you learn along with your clients. And I did want to share some of those lessons that we've learned along the years. I remember even when I was at Brilliant Directories, we used to do basic core setups, and the strategies just evolve with time. So hopefully I'll be able to share some good insights with everybody on the call today that can help make a difference.
Thank you, Pat. Well, let's dive right into it here. Tell us about some of the important things when defining your offering.
All right, so the first one, we've talked about it before. I'm going to go a little deeper. I know we have some people that are new to these webinars, but also I've heard some names that have been there from the beginning. So I will add some layers to this, so we go a little bit deeper with the strategy. But it's identifying a product that your members want to pay to solve. We always talk about your website, your platform needs to be solving a problem. And a lot of times that requires figuring out who your personas are, identifying the people that are going to be paying you or the people that are going to be using your website, sitting down and really writing down a detailed description of who that persona is. How old are they? What kind of websites do they visit? What kind of products do they buy? And most importantly, what kind of problems are they encountering that you can help them solve? And basically going through that process, usually you do a huge brainstorm. Ideally, you have one or two people that you can bounce ideas off of, but the goal of it at the end of the day is that you would like to get to a point where you can come up with an idea or a solution to a problem you think that they'd be willing to engage with you on. And once you think you have that idea, then of course, you can go ahead and bounce that idea off 2 or 3 people that are similar to that persona description, so similar to the potential customer that you're going after, and engage their interest before you go too far down into your project. And interestingly enough, I think the number one thing that we encounter when we start working on a new project is the idea. The original idea is oftentimes the final piece of the equation, which is I want to launch a full-fledged directory where we will connect group A with group B. So group A will come to find group B, but in reality, oftentimes that becomes the final phase of a directory project. A lot of times, in order to go into the market and to start a new project, you can have a much simpler approach than launching a directory, because if you go in and what you are solving is a search experience. So let's say I go into a competitive industry where there's a lot of competition. Let's say maybe an events directory or a coupon directory where there is some competition. Perhaps at that point, if what you're saying is people are going to be able to come to my website to find events, if you're going to ask that persona, hey, is there a need for you to add events on a directory? Is that something that is getting in the way of your business and something that you would pay to be able to do? It's perhaps they would say yes to that, but also it's possible they would say no, because that's something that eventually with time is something that you can start adding value to. But oftentimes you can have a much simpler solution to enter a market. So I'll give you a concrete example. The number one strategy that we find to be effective when you're launching a new directory, because it's an amazing model to do, you're building memberships. The initial strategy is coming up with a simple product and getting a simple website up and running and getting them to create memberships in order to perhaps get information. So it could be as simple as a webinar that teaches them how to solve a problem, a webinar that teaches them how to get clients, or perhaps it's a checklist that teaches them 20 tips on how to launch a successful membership website. And basically, the key to launching is momentum, especially if you're doing a startup. You want to get people registering to your website. You want to get excited. You want to see that there's some level of engagement. And by identifying a solution and focusing really before you get started, what is one thing that we're offering on this website that people will give us an email for, and we can nurture them, we can build relationships, we can talk to them, we can call them, we can make connections. But it starts with a much simpler model than trying to launch the full-fledged directory, because if I am launching a directory to find attorneys, let's say, you go to the home page, I say find attorneys, and they click search and there are no attorneys in my directory, then we all run into that age-old question, right? The chicken or the egg. Are you going to get the attorneys first or the people looking for the attorneys? And by focusing on solving an actual problem that you can give a solution to out of the gates, you can start building one of those two lists.
So does this happen through surveying, or how would you recommend getting in touch, after you've, created your persona or who your demographic would be? What are like two ways to find out where they are online, and how do you get them to take a survey from a company that may or may not have existed for a long time thus far? What kind of questions are we asking them?
That's a great question. Oftentimes, when you're launching a directory, oftentimes there's some personal relationship, some familiarity with the industry. So if I'm launching an attorney directory, I probably know an attorney. If I'm launching a local directory, I'm probably in that locality. I know there's a chance that you mightn't be launching a local directory in a place that you're not in, but there's a good chance that you are. So your personal network is absolutely what you want to lean on at the beginning stages, because they're the ones that should be able to give you more time on the phone. It is difficult to cold call a business that has never heard of you, but it is possible. But I always recommend, who do you know in your personal network that is similar to your persona, right? You can go into social media groups. You see how active everybody is in the Brilliant Directory Strategy group. That's an amazing community. So regardless of the industry you're going in, you could just leave a comment and say, I'm working on a project and I'd love to be able to speak to one or two attorneys. If you can give me your time, I would really appreciate it. I'd love to connect 15 minutes. I just want to see if this idea is viable. And perhaps if you don't have anybody in your personal network, you can get them that way as well. But the whole point of sitting down and speaking with them is either A, you have an idea that you think you're solving a problem for them, or B, you're trying to extract the problem from them. So if you don't have an idea in your head and you don't know, well, I don't know what I can offer them out of the gates, then that's the whole point of getting to speak to your persona. If I'm trying to get attorneys to the website, I'm going to ask them questions like, are you currently on any other websites? What do you like most about being a member of those websites? What do you like least about being a member on those websites? Are you having trouble getting customers? Are you advertising online? Why are you not advertising online? And asking those types of questions, you'll extract information that kind of help you figure out solutions that you can hopefully help solve. And my favorite thing is to do it via knowledge, right? A webinar, an article, a downloadable guide, basically assets that are fairly simple to create.
I really like that. It's like, what you just said is, I may not have the exact idea right now, but I know I want to work on something, and I know that I have knowledge within an industry, but I don't know yet what that industry would need, but I'm sure I could, invent it for them, right? That's what entrepreneurs do. They invent things. So part of the process of wanting to start a project is kind of like this discovery phase of,
Hmm.
okay, where can we take this thing? And I guess that makes a lot of sense. So all right, so
And the next point, Jason, and you're right, you could invent it. And I'm sure a lot of people are listening to that and saying, wow, that sounds like a lot of work, and I have to come up with the idea myself. But if we go to the next slide, the next tip could maybe help you get an idea without having to invent it, right? There is an incredible amount of success out there that's already been created. We're inundated all day long on social media, online, in magazines. We're being sold products and services. And there's a good chance when something catches your eye, when you see an ad on Facebook or a webinar that you're interested in, or a downloadable asset, whenever somebody gets you to give them their email, your email. So if you can get me to give you your email, I need to stop. I'm an entrepreneur now. I own a directory. I'm trying to get members to join. I need to turn my attention on and start analyzing. Wow, I just signed up for this. Wow, I just gave my email for that. Wow, I just downloaded that. Take a step back, analyze and see what was it that they offered you? How did they present it to you? How did they get their interest with all of the noise that's going out there? What was it that they did that you can piggyback off of? What can you emulate from them? What can you, the core idea is there. Maybe you don't need to have the exact product that they're selling or they're offering, but the way in which they promoted it is perhaps something that you can take off of them. So you definitely paying attention and looking at other successful companies, maybe not exact competitors, but similar industries. If there's a site for veterinarians and you have a lawyer directory, maybe you can learn something from a veterinarian directory. You can go dip your feet in different pools and see what the water's like, and see if you can borrow an idea here or there.
gotcha. So kind of assess what's going on in the industry around you. Maybe don't recreate the wheel, and maybe find even a niche within a niche that may be underserved, that has some volume. Is it some things that people can do with this as well?
Absolutely, absolutely. Just today, for example, on a call, the idea was somebody had a lot of relationships in the industry, and particularly vendors and suppliers, and they were launching a directory as always, right? And basically we discovered you have these relationships developed, you've developed them over the years. What if, because when you're in this specific niche, they sell products and their suppliers, and you usually have to sit through a presentation, and they sell expensive equipment. And I said, what if you got them to record a video with you? You just did a Zoom call, you recorded it, and the asset is that people can register on your website and they can have access to these supplier videos without having to sit through a sales presentation, and they can stay up to date on great opportunities for them to sell those products or services, and in exchange for an email. And then of course those vendors and suppliers are going to be able to promote their products to a bigger base, right? Which is good for them at the end of the day. So that's just one example where he's going to leverage his relationships, which is something he has, and he knows the members he's trying to recruit would appreciate, because they're being sold stuff all the time. They would appreciate having that quick access.
Got you. So in that scenario, and just to tie this back, I just want to go back to the first slide here, defining your offering to attract more members. So when we're talking about emulating a proven strategy, you're talking about a strategy for bringing people into what we call the top funnel, right? They come into their first engagement with you. Your first offering to them, maybe it's like we talk about this a lot, some type of a lead magnet or access to some privileged or premium information in exchange for an email address. Is that what we're kind of talking about here
Yes,
with
absolutely.
emulating a proven strategy?
Absolutely. I mean, it could be, you can apply it to any strategy, but yes, definitely, when we get started, we focus on top of funnel, which is, can we get an email? We find it to be a challenge at times to get them to become full-fledged paid members when there are no other members on a directory. So we're always focused around what can we do to get an email and to nurture that email and to have offerings on the back end of that and to try different things out.
Gotcha. Okay, great. And I think that ties right back into your pillar number 3 here about creating content or assets that convert.
Correct. And I think it's really important to take a step back sometimes and to look at your homepage or to look at the landing page where somebody's going to be joining and signing up, and to ask yourself, if somebody in a quick glance understand what it is that I'm trying to solve for? Can they understand what it is that we're offering? And it's very possible that what it is you're offering is very clear, right? Perhaps what you're offering is an ability to connect with attorneys. It's very clear that's what your site is. But if that's the case and I do a search and there aren't any attorneys in the search results, in terms of a brand promise and my first experience with the brand, I'm left to be a little bit disappointed. So sometimes when we're launching a directory, we get excited. We're like, hey, search for lawyers, but that messaging of what your site's about is a little bit unclear, right? So when we're talking about a brand story, when we're talking about defining a product, we're talking about taking the visitor that comes to your website and to help them understand what your website's about. Who's it for? Is it for them? What are you addressing? You need to tell them a little bit of a story so that they can quickly identify this website is for me. I know this is for me. I am X, this is for me. I am X and I'm looking for Y, this is a perfect fit. And it needs to be simple messaging, especially when you're getting started. It can't be a book. It can't be a bunch of paragraphs. It can't be a super long page. You want to have simple messaging that you can show a friend and say, hey, do you know what my website's about, what I'm trying to do here? And if they can't tell you what you're trying to do, then probably your messaging needs a little bit of massaging. And I promise you, it's an exercise that's fun to do, and it's worth keep refining it. You should never stop with the messaging. Jason, you should know, right? How many times did we rework on the website? When you own a website, you never stop improving your messaging because it's something that you always find a way to explain it better. So it's something that's always ever evolving. But I highly recommend doing a self-audit and reading your homepage and then sharing it with a friend and seeing if they can figure out what it is you're trying to do. And it's basically a pass or fail grade based on what they're going to tell you in return. And again, there's no feelings in business, right? It's exciting. Let's say you asked a friend and they can't figure out what it is you're trying to do and they can't explain it back to you, then that's an opportunity for you to get better. It's exciting to discover those things because you're like, okay, wow, I'll make this even better than it is right now. And at the end of the day, your overall product and brand story will benefit.
I really believe in what you're saying there. When Matthew Brooks and I, the co-founder here at Brilliant Directories, when we were launching our own directories, 9-10 years ago, one of the stress tests I would do is I'd actually go to people in different age ranges. I'd go to people of different generations. I would just ask, obviously I knew who they were, family and friends and things like that. I'd ask them, they don't know anything about the industry that the directory was servicing, but I asked them to look at the homepage and answer me 3 things. What does this website do and what is it for? Why would someone join this site and where would someone go to sign up?
Mm-hmm.
Why would I want them? They know nothing about the industry, but obviously the website should explain why the people in that industry should sign up. So I think listing benefits and emotional benefits, things that make their lives or their businesses emotionally better and relieve pain, are often overlooked in messaging on websites. So, sharing your site with friends and family of different generations too, so you can see across the gamut, if your website is resonating, the messaging is resonating with people of different demographics. That's a good stress test to know that you have the right messaging on your site in the first place. So
that third question that you just asked is one that I hear so few people bring up. But where do I sign up? That is so important to have clear on your website. And how do I sign up? Is it easy for them to understand? And oftentimes, what you want to do when you're doing that is you kind of want to paint a picture of what the experience is going to be like. You'll notice now that I mention it, as you look at sales pages, one of the number one things you're going to see on effective sales pages is they have a 1, 2, 3, and they show you these are the 3 steps. First, you sign up, then you do this, then you get that. Or first you pay, and then you do this, and then you get that. They always paint a picture of what happens after you sign up, because people want to understand, okay, this is interesting, I'm not sure how this works. And if you're making the end users figure it out on their own, right? They got to figure out that they got to go sign up, and then they got to figure out that by signing up, they'll be able to do X, Y, and Z. It's not always that simple, because when you're in your own universe, you know how everything works, and the end user may not know it like you do. If they're not comfortable with the experience like you are, they're probably going to leave the website. So not only make it easy to find where you go to sign up, but also, do you understand how the sign up process works? Is that a clear experience for you? And hopefully the answer would be yes to that.
yeah, for people checking out your website, the website is a brochure. So you need to ask yourself, is this a vacation that potential members will want to take?
Correct. Pretty much. Pretty much. All right, get early feedback. I love this one. So we just talked about concepts, and I'm going to share one of my favorite hacks, and you're probably not going to hear a lot of people give this advice, but I don't care, because I like this advice. And it's not for everyone, I'll admit it, but I think if you're on a tight budget, if you're a one-man or one-woman show, if you don't have a lot of time and a lot of money to waste, I always say, why build an advanced asset from start to finish? And let me explain. Let's say I have an idea that I'm going to make a virtual course that is going to teach somebody how to launch a brick and mortar shoe store. And I know how to do it, and you're going to make a killing, and I'm going to build a virtual course. I've asked a couple people, they told me yes, they would like to take that course, and I go get the camera equipment, get the lighting, I hire a team, I do a bunch of takes, we do a bunch of editings, we get the hosting platform. You know where I'm going, all of the different steps of setting it up. Then I go live, I'm super excited. People say they're gonna want this. I've worked on it for 3 months. I start putting ads on there, and it's not converting like I wanted it to, and it's not selling like I wanted it to. The emotional and financial deflation of that decision is sometimes it stops your business. Sometimes that mistake is what makes you stop trying, because it was so disappointing to have that loss. The reality is, any successful entrepreneur will say the key to success is failing. Every time you fail, you're one step closer to your success. So that failure was needed for you to discover your success. But if you allow that failure to be so big that it wipes out your bank account, then that might not have been a good failure. So this lesson, and it's a little bit of a different way to look at things, is, did you know that I could have made a landing page selling that product and run ads to it, spend $20 or $30, and tell the public, hey, all of these things are here. You can either pre-register for the course, right? Because I have this course, it's gonna have all of this amazing stuff. It's got the world inside of it, right? It's gonna solve all these problems, and see if people start registering for this offering that I'm offering. Or I could even pretend that it's available and have a very low grade version of that. Do a single Zoom call recording, give the course on the fly with no assets, no production, and get early feedback on my idea. So when you have an idea, I think maybe someone will like this. What is the quickest way you can get a simple version of your idea out there? And I know so many people on this webinar, because it's very common, we are perfectionists. We have pride in our brand. We want the product to represent us. everything we do needs to be exactly the way that we have it in our minds. Just know that yes, you can do that, and I understand in some cases, depending on the brand, you don't have much of a choice. But if you're on your own, if you have a small team and a small budget, I think it's a much better approach to be very responsible with your finances and time and get a minimal viable product out there and test that brand story, test that product, and get early feedback from users and get early feedback from data and see if you're on the right path or not. And as soon as you get confirmation and the data and the activity, because everybody will tell you your idea is great. Everybody says, hey, I asked a bunch of people and they all said yes. Everybody does that. But when you say, give me $20 and sign up, they don't do it. It's crazy. So don't allow that to happen and invest in a huge resource.
I think one of the most important things to do, one, that point there, don't wait until the entire masterpiece is complete. The moment you have your idea, the first thing you need to do, and again, if you're on a bootstrap budget or you don't have too much time and money to invest, is you need to get a landing page, one page online that has just a brief synopsis of the upcoming solution that's coming, and to register their email address if they're interested in learning when this thing is going to come alive. There's tons of free landing page tools. Build there. GoDaddy has it built in. There's free solutions there. It doesn't matter what it is, and you just need to get that link to people that you're thinking about might be interested, and see if people are registering their email address based on the messaging you've put on your site. That's probably a very simple way to get early feedback on a shoestring budget. Put it out in the universe before, what do you call it? The advanced asset, Pat? That's the one where you go,
asset.
that's the one you go all in on, because you're going to go mass marketing with it. Another thing about getting early feedback, and don't wait for the masterpiece. We hear it all the time. If you don't do it on your first impression, you lose them forever, or whatever that's saying. I can't launch until it's perfect, because if it's not perfect, then they're never going to come back, or this and that. One, that's not true. Number two is, well, you don't have to email your entire list all at once, or whoever you're targeting. That's why restaurants and whatnot do soft launches to get that early user feedback. Hotels do soft launches, restaurants do soft launches, online businesses can do soft launches as well, where you get that minimal viable product. The key is your messaging resonating with people. I have a buddy that wanted to launch an app. It's like an Uber for an on-demand service for a specific industry. And these guys, that's their idea. They went all in, 50, 60 grand into app development, and they're working on it now, and they have yet to just put a landing page to see if people they're interested in the idea. But I recommended to him, why aren't you acquiring subscribers while you're building? Let them know it's coming soon. Build it so you can email people and get feedback on this and that, or create some kind of a buzz as you're building it. That didn't happen. So right now they're just building blindly. They're just going off of what they think is good, and that's the advanced asset they're going right off the bat with. And if you have experience and you're 100% sure, and you have other indicators that tell you to go that route, it's fine. But in my opinion, that the markets are feeble, and people change their minds, and trends change, and new technologies and solutions come out. So getting that early feedback, you might want to change your initial idea and pivot to something else. So get those landing pages online for other ideas you have, and see if you can strum up some interest with some basic messaging, and then you can lean in more to those ideas. And you can do that with multiple. That way you can have multiple ideas going on at once and see which one sticks or seems more favorable to invest more time and energy into. And we did have this picture here is actually from an article that we did. I just want to share it from the BD blog before we get on to the next slide. This is a video segment on exactly how to get early user feedback. I know we talked about it here, but this is kind of a step-by-step guide on how to do a beta launch on a shoestring budget. All right, Pat, and you have a gift for everyone here.
I do. So I talked about, going and seeing people that are doing it. Don't reinvent the wheel. Learn other strategies. And basically what I've done is we've been, like I said, very privileged to work on a lot of exciting projects. And what we did is we developed an asset. I thought it'd also be interesting because Project Pad is on the Brilliant Directories website. So remember what I was saying earlier, you want to pay attention and say, what are they doing that I could be doing? So for example, even the way I deliver this lead asset to everybody on this webinar in itself is a lesson, because you also have a Brilliant Directories website. You can literally repeat how I deliver the lead asset, how I house the lead asset, I send it in an email. So I do give some of those tips along the way, but what I've done is I've compiled 8 of our success stories, and some of these are pretty large projects. A lot of them have tens of thousands of members in the databases, and I kind of give some insights in terms of what the main the highlights were with the projects, what the main purpose are of the websites, and you can kind of check them out as well and kind of learn from sites that have matured and gone through our brand story process with us to get them to where they are and have that succinct messaging that we're talking about. So hopefully, I know a lot of these are probably going to be new websites people haven't seen. They're not usually shared in the Facebook groups or anything like that, but I did think it was very topical for me to share that asset with everybody, so everybody can just head over there and download a copy if they're interested.
I shared a link in the chat for everyone. So go to projectpat.io, 8 successful BD sites. It'll take you to this page here. Now, is this a video, Pat, or is it a PDF file, like an ebook?
It's a PDF file. It's
okay.
a PDF file that I am sending in an email link. Why do I not give it in the thank you screen? Because I don't want fake emails, right? And again, I'm sharing strategy. That's why I'm giving so much detail. But again, I'm giving a good lead asset. I don't want somebody to go in there and put gibberish. Now, if they do put gibberish, they can create a fake account on the directory. And sure, but there's nothing in there inside the dashboard. It just, the message in the dashboard lets them know that it was sent in their email. So if they did give a fake email, then you really want that asset, they'll come back. So that's an example, right, of a strategy to make sure that if they are getting an asset you put a lot of work into, that you're at least getting the contact information that you can then nurture them and teach them the type of services and products that you offer to see if you can acquire a new customers.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much, Pat. I just want to kind of review what we went over. Identify solutions for your members' need or want. So reach out, do surveys, talk to your inner circle, your inner network, and get that feedback if they would even be interested in your solution or what problems they're having that could lead you towards a solution to offer. Look at what other companies are doing, and rather than recreating the wheel, see if you can emulate their strategies and pick out the easy wins. Simplify your idea and your attack and your approach towards the project, and think outside the box. One of my favorite things to do is, how can you cut the fat? How can you remove stuff so you could get to a simple product and offering to give the project traction? Because once it has traction, then the wheels are in motion and things are moving, and that actually helps emotionally with your confidence towards the project and helps set you up for more wins, because when you edit a project down to its core components, you're actually hyper focusing on the most important things, which are those core components. So don't try to recreate the wheel, and see if you can emulate another successful strategy. And then, of course, Pat's been talking a lot about creating content that converts. People want things. People want to find things that improve their lives and businesses. So create assets that people want. And of course, we talked about that handshake, the exchange for the email address, or a free subscriber sign up to your newsletter, or a free sign up to your site, or even a paid sign up to your site, whatever it may be. And then lastly, getting that early feedback. Look, we all have ideas. Sometimes they're not the greatest ideas. It's better we fail fast or we pivot quickly, rather than, and I never heard that phrase before until today, Pat, the advanced asset. So getting that early feedback will keep you more nimble and allow you to tippy toe towards the right direction of where your project should end up heading in. And then, of course, the special gift from Pat there, the link is there in the chat for everyone. And Pat, I wasn't going to let you go. I know you didn't see this slide here, but we still have a lot of people on the line here. And guys, we want to open it up to Q&A. If you want to ask questions about your site to me or for Patrick or David, just let us know. You can raise your hand now. We'll take some questions, and we can help you out with your site, or just answer some some general questions that you might have about defining your offering or your membership website. So let's see if we can get some questions here. Yep, Mark's got his hand up. I'll unmute your mic there, Mark. How are you, Mark?
Good. How are you, Jason?
Pretty good, pretty good. Thanks for joining on the webinar. How'd you like it so far?
Oh, it's excellent. Patrick does such a great job. I'm anxious to click on that link and learn a little bit more about all his success stories and so forth.
Thank you, thank you. What's your question for us today?
Yeah, mine is having to do with claimable listings or just setting that all up. I have it set up, but I was wondering, how would you set it up to charge like $1 or $2 for the actual claiming listing?
Absolutely. I can quickly show you. Do you mind if I go to your site and just do it for you there?
Yeah, directory.ohiobiz.com.
Perfect, perfect. So a couple things. Let's take a look at your membership plans here. And have you imported members? So these are the claimable listings.
Correct.
Okay, so they're going to come here, and we actually have a webinar on this. I'll send you the video. But basically, what you need to do is set up a membership plan that's at that $1 level.
Okay.
So can I clone one of these?
Sure.
Okay, let me
Please.
clone this, and this will be like their initial. It's when people are claiming listings, I prefer just to give them a direct sign up to like a $1 listing, or I understand why you're doing that. You don't want someone to spam and start claiming these listings and things like that. That sometimes it's a problem, sometimes it's not. So what we can do is we can call this something like a basic claimed listing, and this will be the introductory listing that they're going to sign up to. So we want to make this a paid plan, and what we'll do is we'll just do one-time setup fee of $1. Okay. And no other price here. And you can go and adjust the other settings, but this is the plan they'll be signing up to, and I'll show you how you can make it that this is the plan they're signing up to. Okay. So we can go to the sign up page for this plan, basic claim listing. Let me go there. Okay, great. So all that's important here is checkout 6. Checkout 6 is checkout for this product ID. So checkout 6. So let's go back to your claimable listings right here and click on edit. And you'll notice the second box here is claim listing web link. So when they go to claim their listing, where are they going to be directed to? And I'm just going to put checkout 6 there. And so when they click on that claim my listing button, they'll be directed to checkout 6 to the $1 product. And let's go test it out together right now.
Okay.
So I'll just go to one of these claimed listing profiles, the public profile page. Okay, view live profile. And yep, you have it here. Are you Ed Reich and Plumbing? And a claim listing here. And it says you are claiming this profile, claim your listing below, and it's for the $1 price.
Perfect.
So
Awesome.
in a nutshell, more or less, that's all set up now for you.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Jason.
You're very welcome. All right. Okay, I see some questions written in, not too many hands up. Nope, not too many questions. Everyone is in awe and astonishment of the presentation for today, so not too many questions. Becky's got her hand up here. Becky, I'll unmute your mic there. How's it going today?
Good, how are you?
Awesome. Where are you calling in from?
Florida.
All
I'm
right.
in Beach, Florida.
Awesome. Love it there. What's your question for us today?
So I first just want to say Patrick does amazing work, and I've had the pleasure of working with him, so really appreciate everything that he does and the advice that he gives.
Definitely.
Thank you so much for that. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. That's pretty awesome. So my question is, I have 6 different people in different states that will be basically creating content. And so in regards to the newsletters, I guess, is there any advice as to how to allow these local, what I'm calling community connectors, to be able to access these newsletters, and how to give them access to allow them to create these digital newsletters?
So yeah, good question. And so let me make sure I'm understanding correctly. These are going to be people on your staff who are creating content on your site and have access to the back-end admin area to view all the members of the site, right?
Right. I just want it to be very limited, but yes.
Okay. So what you can do, a couple things. The first thing you want to do is you're going to set up admin accounts for them. You've probably already done that. And what you can do is you can create your own admin role settings, or you can simply assign. So basically, you can set up permission rules. All these links in the sidebar here, they probably don't need to access all of them. So basically, what you want is this account role, and you can set them up as like full access, content manager, or you can create, these are the default roles that we've created, or you can set up your own custom rules here. Let me show you, and then I'm going to tell you what you should do with them. So admin role settings. So you can, if you needed to, you could create a new admin role and then say like local content creator, and they probably just need access to the members so they can make their lists, or maybe you make the lists for them, the smart lists, and they can never access the full member database, as an example, right? You just give them, you create the smart list for their area, and then they email them. So smart lists would be under emails, so they can access smart lists, they can access sending newsletters if you're entrusting them to actually follow through with the entire sending newsletter process, composing emails, email templates as well. So here you can create that custom role and really separate them from having access to everything in your admin, like your financials and things like that. The second thing is, as I mentioned about the smart list, so let's just use California as an example. So if you want them to give them access to your entire member database here, you can or you can choose not to give them access to the search members page. If they have access to the search members page, they can do any combinations of search here, like California automotive members, and then they can save that smart list, Cali auto members. And then they can send the newsletter to this list specifically. So they can come here and create their own smart lists, essentially. Or you can do that for them if you don't want them to have access to the thing. And then where they would schedule their newsletters would be under sending newsletters. And all you can really do here is schedule a newsletter, and they would choose the smart list that corresponds to them and the newsletter that they'll be sending. So they choose the template that they've already pre-created in the email templates area. So that would be my recommendation for that. Limit their access, and then all they really need to do is to do the newsletters and to write contents. But to write content, you log in as a member on the front end, and they just need a member account to log in to do the content there. So they may not even need content management here as well. So it'll be up to you there.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
I think I'm on the right track then.
You got it. Join us in the next webinars. Let us know your progress. Okay. Oh, we got more hands up. I see a new name here. I think it's a new name. Horatio. You've joined us before?
Yes, Jason. I've been here listening mainly.
Awesome. Where are you calling in from? How'd you like the webinar so far?
I'm calling in from Eagle Pass, Texas, out of the border of Mexico.
Gotcha.
Mexico side.
I have to say, just want to say, your microphone sounds excellent. What are you using there?
I got my whole setup here, so I have a Shure microphone with a Yamaha mixer connected.
I knew it. Sounds great. The audio quality.
Thank you. So yeah, I do live shows on my Facebook page in mornings, so I do that to share the content on our website. So that's a way that I kind of get the people rounded up. But thank you. That sounds good. Thank you. One of the questions I had was that on my homepage, I have a section for the 401 Hero members, which I created a membership for that. That's the top package that I have, a membership package that I have. But I do have a gold and a bronze membership package. So I wanted to create a single page for my bronze and a single page for my gold members. I'm having a little trouble trying to figure that out too, so it can look kind of the same as my 401 Heroes on my homepage. You want to look at my website for that?
Absolutely. What's the name of your site there?
EPTX411.com.
Okay, just a moment here. Let's pull that up. I didn't fully understand what you're referring to, but I think with this visual. So, okay, here's your site here.
Yes. As you go down, you'll see the 401 Hero members. So I have them there. And that's what I use to promote the website and kind of move them into, hey, you'll show up on the homepage and this is where you'll be. But I also want to do a tab on top, and then, yeah, keep going a little bit more on top, and I want to add one that says where it says membership facts. Kind of put one there where it says bronze members and gold members. So whenever they click on that, they'll be able to see the ones that are listed as bronze members and the ones that are listed as
okay, good.
members.
So you do have a quick and easy option here. Under finance in your membership plans, you can define a URL where only members of that membership plan will be displayed, just like normal search results. This would be the quick and easy way to do it. So you mentioned bronze, right, as one of your examples. So we click on edit here, and I believe if we search URL, yeah, so there's a quick filter here. It's really nice. So yeah, membership plan search results URL. So just for, let's just put bronze here. In this case, I don't think you need the /. Let me just save it. Oh, bronze already exists. Oh, you have a web page called bronze already.
I think I was trying to create one for
okay, so let's just call this bronze. Yeah, the system won't let you create protect yourself from creating conflicting URLs. So let's just call this bronze 2, and let's go to this page here. Bronze 2. Okay, so you had 3 bronze members, and here they are here.
Great.
And I think what you can do is this. So you have all your bronze members here. What you can do, I think this will work. You can create a static page, okay? And we have a documentation on this. You give it the same URL here, bronze 2, and under page type, do member search results. And then what you can do is enable the hero section. And I'm just going to grab a pic from your library.
Okay.
And always in the webinar. Okay. I'm just going to grab a hero picture that you have here, something, just a horizontal image. Okay. This one will do. Okay. And I'm going to give it a title, Meet Our Bronze Members.
Okay.
And then hero section title. Oh yeah, guys, we moved the hero section stuff here. It used to be in the sidebar. We mentioned that in the previous webinar. I'll give it a color overlay just so you can read the text better. And okay, let's make the font white. Okay, and you can add other stuff. And let's just save the changes. All right, let's view the page. Okay, great. So it says meet our bronze members, but you could create this hero title and then your bronze members are listed underneath here.
That's excellent. That's actually what I was looking for, and I was breaking. I just gave up.
Okay, you can choose a sidebar here. I think you had one on the right side, and it's the member search results, so it'll look like the rest of your pages. So yeah, what you can do is, let me retrace my steps now. Okay, so set up a URL for the membership level. Each membership level, just search URL in the filter there, and then create a URL for it. And then what you want to do is basically create a web page with that same URL that's assigned to that membership plan. But the important thing is the page type, set it to member search results. Then you can. Then that's the important thing. So this will match the URL of the membership plan for that is for that membership plan, and the page type set it to member search results. And then what you can do is you can decorate a nice hero title there, and then that's a way you can have a page for that showcases these bronze members and stuff. Yeah.
Yes, excellent. That's what I was looking for. I wanted to make sure that they have their recognition also. It won't be on the home page, but at least they can see that they're there listed under the bronze.
Absolutely. So I'm gonna check to see what's going on with this space here. Looks like you've done something, but I'll get that sorted out for you after the webinar.
Okay, really quick. What I'm doing, just kind of sharing what I'm doing. So I'm going business to business. We have about 3,000 businesses in our community. So I'm going to business. I started with my bicycle on my own, and now I have my son with me. He's 18 years old. He rides with me. We stop by, we talk to the businesses. I always offer the 401 free listing, which is
I
that
like
one.
that name. I like that name. Yeah.
And so that's the one we always offer. It's free forever. It's for the Maverick County residents only, but this is the county. So when they grab this one, I still offer them the bronze and the gold and the 401 hero. And I kind of mention what's on it. On the bottom of our screen, we do have a counter. So I show them that also. The counter shows how many people way on the bottom. There you go. So 14,490 since August the 1st. So that kind of gives them an idea of the traffic that's coming in. So it just kind of motivates them to kind of move up to the next packages. So now I have their business name, their contact name. I have an email of the person. Yeah.
Like an
And
entry
then,
level product, basically.
yes. And then now I create the newsletter and make sure that they get it the next day. And within 24 hours, I send them a thank you email. And then with that email, with that newsletter comes the upgrades. Of course, if you upgrade to bronze, gold, and I keep track of on a small database that I use that I created with Google Docs. So I did a form. I enter them in the form. I keep track of the ones that are interested in doing the update or upgrade later, and then those are the ones that I keep targeting until. And I've done about 5 or 6 sales already, just doing it that way. So
Fantastic.
it's been good.
Thank you so much, Horatio, for sharing that with us. You know, you're doing community outreach, and that's usually the best way to get started. And then don't forget also to do refer a friend, refer a business, and word of mouth. So thank you, Horatio. All right, time for just another 1 or 2 here. Let's try Joe here. How you doing, Joe?
Hey, good guys. How are you?
Excellent, excellent. Where are you calling in from?
Michigan.
All right, all right. Question for Patrick?
Yeah, probably more Patrick. Maybe both of you can provide some info.
All right.
Brand new to this, just got on board last week actually, so have a bunch of ideas going through my mind. But talking about these soft starts, and I guess my main question is it wise just to do this as a free trial, and then once we get a bite, try to migrate into a paid membership, or what would you recommend?
Personally, basically the topic today was membership is certainly a route you can go. You can say, hey, come join my website. It's free. The Horatio has a great strategy because he's building relationships. There's nothing that's going to beat actually speaking somebody face to face, looking in their eyes, shaking their hands. I know we don't shake hands no more, but you get the idea. So that to me, getting them a free account, they remember you, you're impressionable. But I think if it's just digital, if it's just, hey, sign up on my website for free and I'll try to upsell you later, I think that there's a little bit more story development needs to happen in terms of what is it that they're getting. So the soft launch could be an ebook. The soft launch could be a webinar asset. The soft launch could be an audit or a consulting call or an SEO audit from using a third-party tool. So I think initially what you want is to collect emails, right? When you're offering a membership, if that's the first offering, then you need to deliver a membership experience. So I'll give you an example. On this webinar, we just shared that link, and I could tell you that 25 people have already downloaded the asset. Now, I didn't worry about the membership experience. The email that everybody got was a simple email. The downloadable file is just a Google Doc. I exported in a PDF. I haven't even given it to my designer yet because I knew I was going to be on the webinar, so I threw something together. So I think I'm living by my word, saying very, very simple, get something out there, see if there's any interest. Now I have people that I can email, and perhaps I'll have another asset and say, hey, I have this other tool you might want to check out. So my recommendation with a soft launch is, what is something that's quick and easy that you can get up and see if people are willing to go to your top tier of the funnel, right? The initial awareness stage, and give you an email in exchange for whatever that is.
Sure, and I guess that's the big thing is you're not necessarily doing it for free, but you're doing it for the email at the end of the day.
That's the initial transaction. Yeah, it's difficult to go from awareness stage, meaning they never heard of you, they don't know your brand, they don't know your services. It's always challenging to get somebody to make a payment unless you have inside of that a very clear explanation, like Jason said, if it's thorough, you sit with your friend, they can look at your website, they know what it's for, who it's for, and where you go to sign up. And if all of that is clear and the messaging is on point, then you could, at that point, get them to sign up right away. That's my personal advice. Jason?
Yeah, I gotta agree with you. 10 years ago when we were, what motivated us to start a directory is like, we were going in an industry. We're like, all right, there's X amount of people in this industry. If I got $20 a month from this many people, I could buy an island. And the problem with that approach is you're counting the money in your head before you start thinking about how you can deliver value to the community. And people are savvy enough, and there's so much noise out there that it's really important that you create, you have an authentic message, a brand story, a mission that people can get behind, a service and product that people understand and appreciate that you're offering. So I would first figure out how you can warm up to your demographic before counting those dollars in your head. But when you are ready to take that leap from free assets in exchange for an email, or you're trying to nurture or build up some type of a community, the link that I just shared in the chat with everyone, it's conceptual. It talks about 3 different ways to generate $5,000 a month from members. And I'll just summarize it real quick, but I definitely recommend everyone watch this video that I shared. Effectively, you could charge $5 a month to 1,000 people. You can charge $50 a month to 100 people, or you can charge $1,000 a month to 5 people. There's no right or wrong answer. The one that's $5 means that you need to be an expert marketer, your site needs to do all the selling, self-explanatory, and you need to have a way to bring in 10x people if you're converting at 10% to get that $5 per month. The $1,000 per month subscription, there you need to sit down with the person, you need to have a consultation, you need to be hands-on with them. There's expectations that are going to need to be met, and that's going to require more time and resources, but that may be something that you are ready to offer. So watch this video. It talks about different ways to generate revenue, and it really comes down to what your skills are and what you're able to deliver after you collect those membership payments. So check that out as well.
Thank you.
All right, Joe. Good stuff there. Join us in the next webinar. We'd like to see the progress you've made there. All right, guys, we are just about out of time. Patrick, thank you so much for joining us on this webinar. The 2 new add-ons are online. If you guys happen to find any quirks with them, please email the support team. We'll be quick to resolve any issues around those. And if we didn't get your question today, please feel free to join us in our Facebook group. You can head on over to brilliantdirectories.com/Facebook. Click the join button. The next webinar is in 2 weeks, and we will see you all there. So on behalf of myself, David, Patrick, and the entire Brilliant Directories family, thank you guys so much for joining us today. Have a great day and a brilliant week. Take care, guys. Have a nice day.